Welcome into the Cactus Golf Podcast, episode 14. Episode 14.
24.
First one of 2023.
Yep.
How are we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm doing well. It's been some rainy time here in Arizona.
24? That's not 24.
No, what the heck was I saying?
That's why I kind of paused there for a second. I was like, wait, what did he say? 24 episodes is not...
No, that'd be 24.
It's not even a baker's dozen.
No, I don't... Rewind.
Rewind.
Yeah.
14. 2 more than a dozen.
Yeah, 2. I was thinking 2 weeks, I guess. But
sure.
That doesn't even make any sense in relation to this. Anyways, how's
episode
your year
14,
going?
New Year's going good. We got a cool little episode here. We got golf this weekend finally, so we're ready to preview the Sentry Tournament of Champions. We've kind of referenced this coming up here this weekend in Hawaii, so we got a good episode or a good segment on that, betting corner, and then we're going to start off with buy or sell.
New segments.
New segment here. We're going to
do explain this to me, so I make sure everyone's understanding here.
So I'm sure people have seen this before, so it's just a quick segment. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you, or basically I give you a statement,
okay,
and you're going to buy or sell that statement.
Okay.
Just based on what I got here. So we got 5 here. So just a quick. I was going to give you like a quick rundown of like who was going to be involved in them, just so you can get some opinions going.
Okay.
Not the exact question, but who's involved, but didn't do that obviously. So it's just going to be right off the top of your head.
All
so
right.
What do you think? So first one here, buy or sell. First one of the 5. At least one of Rory McIlroy or Jordan Spieth will complete the career Grand Slam this year. So Rory needs the Masters to complete the career Grand Slam. Jordan needs the PGA Championship to complete the career Grand Slam. So one of them, at least one of them. Selling it. No think it's going to happen?
No.
Got 2 shots.
No, and I think the only saving grace of that equation is Rory right now. And I don't think Spieth's got it. Spieth is not 26. Was it 2016 was his year that he blew up?
I can tell you right now. Because actually, go ahead.
That he is not in that form. He's not there. Selling it. I'm not putting anything down. It's almost as bad as your opinion on Jason Day. I'm just not. I don't think he's ready. The only saving grace is Rory, but winning the Masters, I don't think so, because we think we both have a very similar opinion on the Masters winner, and we both said Finau.
Well, it's early. That was just kind of a shot in the dark.
I don't think
it's too early for that, but
Rory's,
that's a shot in the dark right now. Yeah.
No.
So Spieth won the Masters in 15. He won the Open in 17, and the PGA in 17. When did he win the PGA? No, he did win the PGA. He won the U.S. Open. When did he win the U.S. Open? 2015. Yeah.
Got
so
it.
he won the Masters in the U.S. Open 15, Open in 17, and so that's what he's going for. So he's still hanging around a little bit. I mean, all you gotta do is one good weekend, so it can happen.
I mean, of course, it's definitely possible. But now I'm selling it.
So I was doing some other. This isn't a question. I was trying to think of how I could do this question, but I ended up not doing it. But just a quick fun fact. I was looking. So I have this Wikipedia page of all the Masters winners chronologically, like in history. And so I was looking, and they have the flags of like whose home country won it. And so I was like, a lot of like Americans, but I was looking. Okay, I wonder when the last time Americans swept all 4 majors. How long ago do you think that last happened? It's been a lot of like 2 and 3, but just never completed all 4 in a calendar year.
I mean, because I think it definitely didn't happen last year because Cam Smith won the Open. It's an Australian. I know it didn't happen the year prior because Hideki Matsuyama won the Masters and he's not American. I feel like if I keep going back, I don't think. So that's back to 2020 there.
So 2020 actually kind of happened, but there was no Open Championship. So we won 3 of the 4, but the 4th one didn't happen. So it kind of happened, but it didn't.
Got it.
So we swept, but not all 4 happened. So
correct. That's
not counting that
an asterisk.
I didn't count that one.
I wouldn't. I'm going to throw a random number out there. 2015. Nope. No. So my original guess was probably was a long time ago. Pre-Tiger era?
Yeah.
80s?
Well before that. 82.
Wow.
That was a long time ago.
Wow. That's actually crazy.
I know, right?
Do you have who won that year?
Tom Watson won 2. He won the Open and the U.S. Open. And Raymond Floyd and Craig Stadler. So Raymond Floyd won the PGA, and then who was the name? Stadler. Craig Stadler won the Masters.
Because it could have been close. I was the year
Tiger
of the
won
Tiger
3.
Slam.
And it was
won 3
Vijay
out of the
Singh,
4.
I think, won the other one.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a good question. I like that one.
So I couldn't really figure out how to do that, but I just kind of thought I'd throw a little nugget in there.
That's good.
So the next one here. So you said no, Rory or Jordan
Selling
aren't gonna complete the career Grand Slam. Do you think it ever happens? Do you think one of them?
I think Rory will do it.
Think Rory will get it at some point?
Yeah.
Just not this year.
No, I think in the next 3 years.
Okay.
It's a healthy year time.
All right. So this one, Justin Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
over 2.5 wins this year.
I'm buying it.
Buying that. So he had only one last year, and it was the major he won, the PGA.
Correct. I'm buying it.
Won.
I'm buying it.
He had 10 top 10s though, so he was always right around there.
Yeah. I think he's too dominant of a player to do that. Plus to your point, only one win last year. I was about to make the argument that some of the top players leaving, which some of the top players left early in the season last year. A couple more left in the middle of the season. A few more left at the end of the season. So, arguably, I think that's my chances of that one. Would you say 2.5 wins? I'm buying it.
Only one last year. I was doing like little comparisons, like who had wins last year and whatnot, and obviously Scotty and Cam Smith had great years last year, but it was I was looking like Xander, who else did I look up? John Rahm, Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa.
Yeah.
I think only one of those 4 had more than 2.5 wins.
Really?
Xander had 3. Rahm, Hovland, Morikawa all had like 1 or less. So it was really interesting because I thought those were kind of comparable players.
Yeah, big names.
And so, but I think it's pretty good odds that he goes over.
I agree.
All right, so over 2.5 wins for JT. So the next one here. This is a little interesting. Again, I was kind of like, this is kind of my spin-off of the little nugget I dropped earlier. So right now, Rory obviously is world number 1.
Yep.
Scotty was there a lot of the year last year.
Correct.
Any American will finish the year as the world number 1. Any American. So 14 Americans currently in the top 25. Scotty number 2 right now.
The odds are just right there. That's phenomenal odds. That's more than 50% are in the top 25.
But you got Rory, Cam Smith, which probably won't happen just the way things are working out.
Gonna fall.
John Rahm is number 5. Matt Fitzpatrick, Victor Hovland are 9, 10 respectively. Tom Kim, AO.
Yeah, you love your Tom Kim. No, I think just based on pure statistics, not emotion here, just pure statistics, I'm going to have to buy it.
Yeah.
Greg said greater than 50% of Americans are in the top 25 of the OWGR. I have to buy that one. If I take emotion into account, I'm a fan of Rory. I think he might be able to.
He's in good form still.
Yeah. So, but like to your point, Scotty Scheffler started hot last season and kind of dwindled off a little bit as the season progressed. So, the biggest challenge for Rory is, can he continue to staying hot? So, based off of statistics, I'm buying it.
Gotcha. All right. So, any American, who would you say is most likely? Scotty or somebody else?
Someone else. Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah, Cantlay's 4 right now. Xander, Zalatoris, JT are 6, 7, 8 respectively. Morikawa, Finau, Sam Burns 11, 12, 13. Spieth 14. So yeah, got plenty of names up there. All right, so that's the third one. Number 4.
Terry.
Number 4, John Rahm will finish with more wins than Xander Schauffele.
I'm selling it.
So Rahm had 1 last year. Xander had 3. That's what I was kind of harping back to.
I'm selling
Don't think so?
No. I'm a fan of Rahm. I like Rahm, but I love Xander. I'm a big fan of Xander. So I think, like you said, just based on last season's results, and of course, obviously, based off history doesn't always predict the future as well. But I think this one I'm going off of emotion here, and it also, I guess, is quote unquote statistics too. I think Xander's walking away with more wins than Rahm this season.
So they're back to back in WGR right now as well, 5, 6. So I was looking, kind of playing around. I wanted to put Morikawa in there, but he was a guy that I think he had 0 wins last year, actually, weirdly enough. So
he was always in contention last year.
And
he's always been around.
He's had 2 majors already, so he's always. I think he's definitely going to get at least a couple wins there this year. But I was tossing back and forth who I might compare in there. But yeah, I thought that was a good comparison. I think Grom's going to beat him this year in wins. I mean, just those two compared, I think Grom will get back on top here.
We'll see if the Spaniard can do it.
I think he can. He just finished really well in the DP World Tour, so I think he finished real well there. So we'll see what he can do. So we got last one here. This is a little more open-ended.
Okay.
I mean, it's still like buy or sell, but it'll lead to more discussion, I think, though. But so Liv and the PGA will come to some kind of truce by the end of the year. Just some kind of truce.
I'm selling it.
No?
I'm selling it. No way. I think you've got two organizations. I think that's what would be in favor of Liv to have some sort of agreement towards the end of this season. I think right now if you gave me more time, a little bit more time on this question, I think I would have to ponder it a little bit more, because I think Liv still has a lot to prove for PGA to step in and make a move like that. Plus, I also think the PGA is very strict with its ways. They don't change. The only reason why they're changing is because of what Liv's doing.
Right.
So I think it's too soon. I think I'd be shocked to see. I think Liv needs to get that TV deal. I think they need to get a few more players. They need to establish that young farm system to be able to recruit.
Do they need to do that
talent.
to get a truce, though?
Yes. So I think the PGA. I think they need to establish more of a
we're not going
dominance.
anywhere.
Correct. Because I think if we do polls on Instagram all the time of, at least I've done one where I ask people that of our followers, how long do you think the PGA or the Liv Golf's going to last? It's like from next 1 to 2 years, 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 forever, whatever the case is. And there's still so many people that think it's going to die off within the 1 to 2 year time frame. I think it needs to establish more of a we're not going away attitude. And then I think the talks of a truce could come together. But I think the PGA, though, is still arguably and rightfully upset they stole players still. And granted, it's not really stealing players, but it is in the sense the players decided to leave. Obviously, correct. But at the end of the day, the players make the decision. But, you can argue both sides on that one. So I think Liv Golf's got more to prove for the PGA to step in. I think maybe in the next 5 years, I could see something like that. 5 years is a long time.
I think before that.
I think 5 years is a healthy margin, I think, of time for the PGA to step in and say, okay, we got to do something, otherwise we're going to get crushed at this point. Because I think that's the only way the PGA would step in and make that sort of agreement or truce, is out of fear that their league and organization is going to digress. That's the only way I think that they'll ever step in to partner with any sort of agreement with Liv Golf. And I think they got to get rid of Greg Norman, too, for them to say anything.
That's why I think it'll be sooner than later, because they're already giving stipulations on how they can mend the fences, Because if they weren't giving solutions like, hey, get rid of Greg Norman, we're good.
Yeah.
More or less. If they weren't saying that, then I would say that they're probably further away. Is that the PGA
saying that, or is that just Rory saying that?
It's, same thing, kind of.
I don't know. I think... wasn't there some sort of... I remember seeing a headline that Rory and Tiger are working on something right now with the PGA, some sort of...
Well, they did their own little thing, right? Their little virtual golf thing, right? I haven't really looked into it a whole lot. But they started that. They brought in a couple other people, like Rom and somebody else as well.
Yeah. So I think it's we got to give it more time. I think Liv's got to establish some sort of, like I said, dominance, and I think the only way PGA steps in is if just because of straight fear. That's what happens. A lot of bigger companies, a smaller business starts to take some of its market share, and then the big company steps in, realizes that they're actual legitimate competition now, and they swoop in and buy them out. So I think that's the only way that PGA ever jumps in, is if Liv takes more of the market share.
I think it's closer. I don't think it's more than 3 years away. I think it's probably... The thing is, the timing of the year, it's not going to happen the middle of the season, I feel like. It would happen more this time next year. It's not going to happen like in August, I feel like. 'Cause that's going to be in the heart of both their seasons, so I wouldn't think it would happen then if it was going to happen here in the near future. But
I don't know. We'll see.
But
that
was the last one I had. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's the book has not been written yet.
No,
I think still have a few chapters to go.
Yeah, Liv's got a lot of writing to do. They need to make sure they stock up on their big pens because they've got a lot to prove still.
All right. Well, maybe we'll bring that back. I think it's kind of interesting. Buy or sell here again some point, but we got a tournament to preview. Finally, for the first time in like 3 or 4 weeks.
We're back, baby. We're back.
Time to make some money.
How many, you posted, how many weeks do we have straight up tournaments now?
It was like until August something.
No, hang on.
It was like until August.
I got it right here. The next 34 weekends, we've got...
PGA. That's just PGA.
That's just PGA, too, yeah. We've got straight betting corner. Next 34 episodes. That's kind of crazy. 34 episodes from now.
Printing press is going to be active. We're going to be printing some money here, baby. Let's go.
Absolutely. I like that, the printing press.
But Sentry Tournament of Champions, it's going to be in Kapalua, Maui, Hawaii. Defending champion Cam Smith is not going to be competing, but he is the defending champ. Pretty dang strong field.
Yeah.
39 golfers, but 8 of the top 10 in LWGR. We've got a really strong field here.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that 8 of the top 10 in OWGR, 4 FedEx Cup champions, 9 out of the top 10 that are in the current FedEx Cup standings. But one big name is out. Rory McIlroy.
Rory and Cam Smith not there.
Well, Cam Smith, of course, but Rory is out this weekend. And I think I saw something that they get to decide to step out of one large tournament a year or something like that. I forget what the whole thing was. So the odds of him being at the Masters, the Waste Management is significantly better now. So I'm excited, very excited for that. But we gotta have a $15 million purse this weekend. So it's the biggest purse we've seen all season so far. Can you name the next tournament that's gonna one up it?
The next one that's higher than that? Players?
Waste Management.
Oh, Waste Management makes sense. Okay,
$20 million.
I assume that's the next elevated event.
That's the next elevated event. Yeah, I think they go back-to-back elevated events after Waste Management. It's Waste Management and something else. I don't think
like Dell Technology.
I want to say it might have been Dell.
Yeah.
So there's some big money on the line here this weekend. Like I said, some big names. I was looking up you said the yardage and what par it is?
I did not know.
So it's 7,596 yards, par 73. The single round course record is a 61, and it's held by JT, John Rahm, and Matt Jones, and it was in last year's tournament.
So I saw last year Cam Smith was 34 under to win the tournament.
Yeah, he was, and I think Rahm was just finished 33.
1 or 2.
He was one back. And speaking of Rahm, he is listed as the favorite this week. So it should be interesting to see. Like you said, he finished 1 stroke back to Cam Smith. He is a 2-time runner-up at this tournament. He's never won yet. Could it just be this year?
Could be.
What do you think? What is your thought process brewing right now? Who do you think's gonna walk away?
I didn't do a lot of analytical what they've finished at previously, except one pick here. Kind of just went straight vibes on these picks here for betting corner.
Emotion.
Straight vibes. So I got my winner if you want that. If that's what you're looking for.
Well, I just how we post the posts on Wednesdays. So
I got my winner here. I'm going JT.
Okay.
So
respectable.
He's up there as far as favorites. Not the favorite, but up there. He's won it twice already. He won it in 2020, once in 2017. So he's got the experience there at the course. He's played well before, and he's a baller. So
he's a baller, big baller. And
we've seen him recently as well. He played in the PNC, so it's kind of not an official event, but he's played recently.
You're agreeing that my buying of 2.5 wins for him this season was correct then, right? Did you say JT, right?
I think he's...
Yeah, so that's going to add to my buy. That's the reason why I bought it. So I'm going Patrick Cantlay this week. So I mentioned him earlier. He is, like I said, number 4 in the OWGR. He's only played in 2 events this season, which was the President's Cup and Shriners, where he was finished T2. So I think he's coming back in. Last season, he had 2 wins, 12 top 10s. And I'm feeling that he had some time off. I know last season he struggled with the driver. Accuracy off the tee he was ranked like in the 90s on the tour last season. So he had some time off. Hopefully the man's been practicing on his accuracy off the tee, and I think he's gonna step in fresh into a number 1 on the podium this week.
All right.
So that's my pick.
I did not do math. I need to start doing this more because he, like you said, is number 4 in OWGR. Mm-hmm. I want to see how high he can get if he won. Because Cameron Smith's not playing, Rory's not playing. Scotty is. He's number 2. So I wonder how high he can get. I don't think he can get to number 1. But I wonder what the math is on him getting to like passing Cam Smith since he's not even playing. I bet he could pass him. I need to do more work into that before. See
do that for next episode.
Yeah, I need to see. I want to see what that is.
Got 34 straight weeks of this, man. I got plenty of time.
33. I'll do it 33 in a row.
There we go.
All right. So Cantlay and JT. All right.
Yep. It's gonna be fun.
So I did see, before we get betting corner, I did see it is a long course. You said 7,500 yards, right?
Yep.
I guess it's a lot of elevation, so a lot of downhill, tee to green. So I think it plays a little shorter generally, is what I think I read on that. So we'll see. I don't think the big hitters have too much of an advantage.
I remember reading something. I thought I took notes on it, but maybe I didn't. That this course has really seen. People are going to finish a lot under par. Like I said,
34 last year.
34 last year. They called it a quote unquote amateurs course. So it's made more for the amateur golfer that's visiting and the tourist in Hawaii that's playing there. So it's going to be a low scoring weekend. It's going to be fun.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's get to the printing press betting corner here. Let's go.
So let's review our current standings,
Yep.
our current scorecard where we sit at. So right now I am minus 395 units. You are minus 207 units. So that's the current scorecard. How many bets do you have this week?
I have 5 again.
I have 5 as well. So honors are yours.
All right. So I'm going. Again, vibes here. This guy's been balling out early in the season already. Seamus Power, top 10, plus 260, 35 units.
Ditto, except I'm going 30 units. I'm a big Seamus Power guy. It all started off when I called him Seamus, and he didn't take it too serious and too personal with me, so I appreciate that. So I also went him first pick, top 10. Plus 260.
10, let's go.
30 units, though. So 5 units less than
Seamus Power for each of us. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Here's another name we've called a couple times already this year. Sepp Straka.
Okay.
Top 5. So I had a few units that I was just kind of like, here's my last pick, and I had to make something work, you know? So I was like, you know what? He looks good. Top 5, Sepp Straka. It's a short field again, so anything can happen.
What's the odds on that one?
Plus 1,800.
I was going to say, I think it's pretty big, because I remember when I was looking, his odds were a little bit worse than Seamus.
Yeah.
So
plus 1,800, only 10 units.
That's more than what my outright winner is. Just put that into perspective for a minute. Top 5.
Yep.
I like it.
It was my last pick. I had 10 units to play around with. I didn't want to change anything else. So, you know what? He's played me before. I think we referenced how high he climbed in the OWGR 1 or 2 episodes ago.
He was one of those.
And he's really been, on fire. So I think it's about as good of a long shot as I can. He's 27th in OWGR right now. So I think he was outside 200.
Yeah, I remember this a few episodes ago. He was 200 plus.
Yeah.
So I like it. All right, I'm getting cheeky. Tony Finau, Scotty Scheffler, parlay. Finau top 10, Scheffler top 5. Odds are plus 509, 17 units.
Finau and Scheffler, okay.
Finau and Scheffler. So top 10, top 5. I think.
What's that come out to on odds?
Plus 509.
Plus 509.
Yep, and 17 units. Getting a little cute there.
Right.
I'm getting a little fun this week.
Gotta go with I like the parlays, man. They're fun.
It is. I think I learned my lesson of not going all parlays or more than maybe 2. But I also learned my lesson of not mixing people, like having someone in a parlay and then also having them in something else, because if that one person crashes, it destroys it all. So,
All right.
that's my second pick.
My next one is also a parlay.
Okay.
Trey Mullinax, top 20. So he's pretty low down there.
I was going to say, cool.
But just watch. Watch and learn.
Just watch and learn.
Trey Mullinax, top 20. John Rahm, top 10. That's only comes out to 281, plus 281. We got 33 units on that one. I think Rahm's going to be up there. Like you said, he's finished second in a couple times or back-to-back, was it?
No,
twice.
I don't think it's
Not
back-to-back,
twice.
just twice. He's never won this tournament. He's always been up there, though.
Betting favorite. He probably doesn't come away with it. I got a couple other people going for outrights, but I think top 10.
There. Interesting.
So Trey Mullinax, top 20. John Rahm, top 10.
Got it.
33 units.
I got someone that we've been talking about him more, I guess, in the last few weekends of the previous 2020, the beginning of the 2022-2023 season. He took some time off. I mentioned that, his focus more. Max Homa. There you go. I was trying to see if you can pick it up. Max Homa, top 5, plus 550, 18 units. I think Tiger wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, who was Tiger talking about at the World Hero? They were doing that little contest where they were hitting into the rings, the little target on the water.
I don't know.
He was complimenting someone. I think he was Max Homa. I think he was just sitting next to Tom Kim or someone. They were talking about Max Homa. So I think if he's got Tiger's seal of approval, he's got my seal of approval. I mean, come on now. So like I said, top 5 plus 550, 18 units.
All right. So I got 2 more here. I already mentioned one. I got 1 Justin Thomas outright. I mentioned it earlier. We're betting it. So JT outright plus 1,100, 13 units.
I like it. That would help my buy, like I said. My next one, second to last, Colin Morikawa. It's no wins last season, like we talked about. Top 5, so I don't think he's going to quite get there just yet. Plus 350, 25 units. So I think he just got married recently too, right? Didn't we talk about that?
Him and Sung Jae Im both got married recently.
See, the newlyweds, they're feeling it. They're feeling better, and that ring, the additional weight on the left side is just going to help them in that transition. And I think he's just going to, transition his way right into top 5 at least this week.
All right. Hashtag analytics.
Yes.
All right, my last one here. I picked JT as my winner, but again, it's the year of Tony Finau, so we're betting it. Tony Finau outright. That's plus 1,400, 9 units though, only 9. But
you should have. I know he was your one. He was your one outright winner that actually went through. Correct. Yeah. So you should have listed that as your New Year's resolution on the last episode. That
or just bet him every week.
It is the year of Finau, and you bet him every week. Like I said, he's part of my betting corner this week, just not outright. All right, my last one. I mentioned him previously, Patrick Cantlay. Outright winner. Odds are plus 1,000. Going 10 units on that one. So bring him back. I haven't done an outright winner. I should back that statement up because the past few tournaments,
that's all we could bet though.
Correct. Yeah. So I went back to the outright winner strategy, and I kind of combined a bunch of stuff. Changed a lot of the units to not even. Threw in another parlay. I'm feeling good this week. I mixed up everyone, so I feel like my odds. If one of them hits, I'm positive.
It's still not a full field.
No,
too. It's 39 golfers, so it's still not a full field.
Field,
strong field, but it's not a full field. So we have theoretically a higher chance of hitting at least one. Yeah. So we should be hopefully creeping back closer to 0.
That's what we're going for. We're going for the opposite of. So if this was par and we were minus these units, we'd be doing fantastic.
Hey, yeah, we'd be balling out.
But it is unfortunately not.
Has either of us? I don't think I have hit 2 bets yet.
Yeah, I have. I remember because
you did. That's right. But they were small wins, weren't they? Yeah.
Yes, they were small wins. So I learned that lesson. So like I said, at least if any one of these bets hit, I at least go positive this week.
That's what I started doing. Yeah, that's the way to go.
So hoping for 2 to hit.
Because I was
for 5 to hit.
What really bugged me out was that one. I think it was in the Bahamas, and I had the parlay of Seamus Power, Thomas Detry. Mm-hmm. It was top 20, top 10, and they finished 1-2. and I'm like, I hit,
Yeah,
but it
that.
feels like I left so much on the bone because they were
Correct.
1-2. Like, what the heck,
Correct.
man?
You just took the skin off of the chicken wing.
Like,
That's all you ate. There was
I
all
left
that
so
meat
much
that
meat
was
on the
still
bone.
in there.
Gosh darn it.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, I'm excited to. I was excited to open up the DraftKings app again this week. It was exciting to finally dig back in and
34 straight
weeks, throwing some money. Yeah. And right after Christmas, I should have started budgeting, but you know what? We're going in, man.
We might have to do something different for majors as well. We'll have to ponder how we might want it. If we want to change, maybe we don't have to, but change it up a little bit on betting corner. Maybe, I don't know.
We could.
We'll
think about it.
Play around with some things.
We'll see.
But that'll be special.
We got to get positive first. So we have a few months until we have our first major coming up. So let's plenty of time for us to turn positive.
Maybe we'll have to, when we go to the waste management, we'll have to put up signs for who we're betting on. I need you to go positive. I need you to show them how down we are. To give them how much units we're down.
Whatever. Exactly. I'll just whatever golfers you bet on that week, I'm gonna try and follow them on social media and then see what bars they're at if they're out at night, and I'm gonna try and get them really a little overserved and they poor performance. Whatever we got to do to win, man. Just kidding. Odds are they're probably at that new location.
Sportsbook. Is it going to be open in time? I didn't see. There's going to be the new sportsbook in TPC Scottsdale. I think it's Caesars.
DraftKings.
Is it DraftKings?
DraftKings.
Okay. DraftKings Sportsbook in TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I remember I was pretty happy because I am an investor.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this section of episode 14. We have an interview coming up. Stick around for that.
Yep.
And, again, like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And tell your friends about us as well.
Let's do it. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. Thank you guys for continuing to listen to the Cactus Golf Podcast. Today, for our final segment of our episode, I have another great opportunity to interview Scott Poniewaz, one of the I think I found Scott. I found you on Instagram. Oh man, a few months back now. Connected with you, saw some other great things that you've been doing on social media. You've built up quite a following on social media as well yourself. And then connected with you and been in touch ever since. And super excited to have you on the episode this week and to tap into your knowledge and share with the audience. And it's going to be a great interview.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I think it was almost a year ago now that we initially connected, but
yeah,
it's been following Cactus Golf ever since.
That's right. All right. Well, my first question for you is, what got you started and interested in golf? Or were you brought up into it at a young age, or what would that look like?
Yeah, I was pretty fortunate that I started golfing when I was pretty young. I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin, and belonged to a local club there, and ended up with a pretty good circle of friends that all revolved around a golf course usually, especially in the summer.
That's
in
nice.
Wisconsin, it's a short summer, only a couple months, but basically morning to evening, my mom would drop my brother and I off at the golf course. We'd go play 36 holes or whatever we could get in, and hit the range and play Masters putting championships on the practice green all day. And I think we would bet snacks on our parents' tabs, but it was still good and taught us a lot about competition even from our younger days. But it started off young and I just stuck with it. I'll be honest, I kind of fell out of it a little bit in college.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of my first years in New York, and then really decided these past few years to get back into it. I found out about some adult competitive golfing, and the rest is kind of history from there.
Yeah, let's stay on that topic right now. So you had a recent amateur players tour win at Chambers Bay. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, did you go into that weekend thinking, I'm going to walk out of here number one? Or what was your mindset looking like?
So going into that week, I was super excited. That was actually the first tournament that I'd signed up for the season, even though it was Memorial Day weekend. Or no, I'm sorry, Labor Day weekend.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Always mix those up. But they had announced it earlier the year before, and so I was super excited. Actually, one of my childhood friends' older brothers was one of the people behind the designs and, of course, architecture over there, Jay Bazzi, and he grew up just outside of Madison in my hometown. And so I was excited on so many levels, but actually going into it about a week prior, a little over a week prior, I came down with COVID. So
Oh,
even if I was going to get there or not was completely up in the air. But fortunately, it was a pretty mild case. It cleared up quickly enough, and sort of right in the final hours, I was cleared and I could fly. And so I went over, and the first day played, great round of golf and was feeling pretty confident. The second day, I was feeling a little rough around the edges, still from, I think, some of the illness. And so I ended up losing quite a few strokes off the lead that I had going into day two, and ended up in a playoff hole, and fortunately was able to pull through and make it happen. But I mean, such a beautiful course, and if you haven't played out there, the walk itself and is just incredible, even if you're not playing the best of golf. But
that's right. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's awesome. And that's great. I did not know that first part of the story, that you almost might not have been able to play. So that's fantastic that the stars lined up and you were cleared to go. And look at that. Was it your first ever victory in any sort of golf tournament?
no, so actually this past season I won, I think, 5 events in total.
Oh my gosh.
Actually two majors, and then two on the local tours, and then one, actually, I played in the first Amateur Players Tour Canadian event,
Okay.
up at Cobble Beach, which they call the Pebble Beach of Canada,
Yeah.
or the East Coast, and beautiful course as well. But ended up winning that one as well.
Oh my gosh. I
So
mean, I'm
it was
talking
a pretty
to
good season.
yeah, that sounds like a fantastic season. 5 wins, and you said two majors of that. Oh my gosh, that sounds like a phenomenal season. I feel like I'm talking to like an up and coming Tiger Woods right now. I mean, I feel like I feel honored. I feel honored right now in this. What do you enjoy
Well, they
most
are
about competitive?
flighted, so
There you
I'm not
go. There
playing
you
with
go.
I'm not playing with Corn Ferry guys or
That's
anything.
okay.
So
That's okay. You didn't have to mention that. That's okay. What do you enjoy most about competitive golf?
honestly, it's the camaraderie. As I've started to travel around the country, playing in a lot of the national events, on a couple of the different um, tours out there, amateur tours,
Mhm.
it's great group of people. I don't think I've ever played with somebody that I don't like.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, a lot of us travel to all these different places on a regular basis and end up running into each other in places like Arizona or Utah or Michigan, and all these great courses. And
Yeah.
it also gets you out to some of these great courses where, I mean, I'm pushing 40 now, and as my friends are having kids, it's tougher to get a group of buddies to go play some of these bucket list courses when
Yeah.
these events are happening. You can just sign up, go, and know that you have other great people to play with.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. I can imagine that's great that you're able to meet up with people and you see from other prior tournaments in different locations, you guys are able to come back together. That's fantastic. I really love that. And that's something that I want to personally get into is playing more competitive golf. I've just golfed with friends, and it's nice that they have a lot of those tournaments. Like you mentioned earlier, there are some of them, a lot of them are flighted. So you're able to still stay competitive within your handicap range, which is fantastic. I like that a lot of tournaments that they do that. Next question I have for you is, you've built quite the like I said earlier, the social media following. You've gotten some, what I think on Instagram you list like 4 or 5 different sponsorships that you have with different brands. So this question I have for you is more for the listener that's looking for the sponsorship deal right now. They're looking to, try and get the attention of these companies to, help them out a little bit. My question for you is, how do you get someone's attention like that? Is it just posting consistently on social media? Is it reaching out to them yourselves? What does that look like?
Yes, I think it's a little bit of both. When I first started this golf site, I basically created this Instagram account so that I wasn't going to annoy all my family and friends with constant golf and golf brags and golf course pictures and all this other stuff. But then it eventually just kind of started to take off as some of the different tours and that I was playing on, and people kept following me, and just sort of that following grew organically and unexpectedly. As far as the sponsorships, really when I set out to do it, that was not any part of it. Some of them, they just started to reach out to me as my following grew. So that's definitely a place where I started to get attention, and I went, well, I wonder if there's some of these other brands that could be interesting. And so I kind of looked through, a lot of them have their own applications for programs. As an example, something like GoPro, they ended up actually seeing one of my pictures from what's the name of the course? Sand Valley down in Utah.
Okay.
And it sort of triggered something over there. And so I got invited into their program just based off of a GoPro photo that I had. And then some of the others, I started out just basically finding products that I used anyway, and then applying for their affiliate programs just to see if I'm going to be posting about it or showing that I'm using it, then why not make a couple bucks? And then sort of it grew, and they would see me doing production, and so then they'd start sort of sending me other products, partnering, and seeing how we could do more collaborations with some of those sponsorships, and sort of rewarding me for helping with that stuff that I'm already using. But for me, I'm pretty held to brands that I do actually use, though. So,
which that's important, because there's a lot of people that just look for the money, or the free products that companies give them that they don't even use it anyways. Like they'll promote items that are still in the plastic wrapping. And it's like, okay, well, you clearly don't use it, so why is anyone else going to believe you? So it's important to not only use the products that you partner with, but also believe in what their mission and their values are too, and have everything aligned. It makes it so much easier to follow through with stuff like that. So I love that answer. That's fantastic. Last question I have for you. New year 2023. So happy New Year, first of all, to you. But my question for you is, do you have any golf goals for 2023?
Yeah. So last year was my first time playing in the Mid-Am qualifier. I finally got my handicap down below a 5, which got me eligible to play in the New Jersey qualifiers. I've gotten it down into the 2s now this year, or
Nice.
sort of towards the tail end. So now my goal is to not only play and qualify for Montana Mid-Ams, but also actually try to get it down closer to scratch, where I could potentially play in just the qualifier for the US Amateur. Not even like make it through there, but if I can at least, get into that qualifier, that would be one of my big goals. But
One
also
step
just
at a time.
Yeah, be more competitive in the Montana Mid-Ams as well, and see where I can go. Maybe a top 10 finish or something. We'll see. So
that's fantastic. I love that. I love that you have very specific goals too. I love that you know exactly what tournaments and whatnot. I think that's fantastic. You've got a vision for yourself in 2023, and I think you're gonna do it, man. It's exciting. One step at a time, right? I mean, who knows within the next few years what can happen. You keep working on it, and next thing you know, we'll be seeing you on the big TVs one day. You never know.
Maybe by the time I hit 55 and can hit that senior tour, but
there we
not
go.
anytime sooner. Just need to get that putting figured out, and I'll be
there you go.
at
That
it.
short game is a killer sometimes. A love-hate, right?
Exactly. And it's the most stressful and challenging to work on. But
absolutely. Well, Scott, I appreciate you being on the show today. Tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, so it's at pony_golf on Instagram. That's my main thing. I think I have a Facebook page out there somewhere, but I don't ever post it over there. But yeah, Instagram is the main one. And then yeah, hopefully I'll see some people out on some of the different amateur tours this season, and don't be afraid to say hi.
That's awesome. Scott, I appreciate you, like I said, jumping on the show. I'm excited to keep following your progress throughout the year and in the future. Wish you all the best. And thank you, everyone, for listening to the Cactus Golf Podcast. We will see you guys next week.